The man accused of killing a 32-year-old woman and injuring dozens at a white nationalist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia on Saturday has been denied bail. Ohio resident James Alex Fields faced a judge Monday morning for the first time since the violence erupted between white nationalists and counter-protesters on Saturday. The Charlottesville police chief gave an update Monday afternoon.
We understand it was a traumatic weekend for everyone. We're still receiving reports of assaults and additional crimes, and we're working with our state and local partners to investigate thoroughly any criminal or civil rights violations that may have occurred this past weekend that have not yet been reported.
CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reid has been covering the incident on the ground since Saturday. She joins us now from Charlottesville. Paula, there's been criticism that police in Charlottesville were outnumbered and slow to respond. What did you see while you were there over the weekend?
Elaine, we spoke to the mayor Saturday morning. He said that they were prepared. There were over 1,000 police from different departments in Virginia on hand for this. But as the rally became increasingly violent, we looked around and realized there were no police. They had dropped back, even while people were being assaulted with tear gas, pepper spray, having water bottles and boxes thrown at them. The question is, where were they? Elaine, law enforcement sources tell me that they moved back to form a perimeter around the park. The argument is that these protesters had a permit and they were going to allow them to demonstrate. But this was a very violent protest. Eventually, the governor declared a state of emergency. The police returned to clear the park, pushed them into the streets, and of course, that is when we saw that deadly hit and run. Elaine, so today the question is, did the police do enough? Did they do the right thing? And why was their response to this rally so different than rallies we've covered this summer where the police were actively involved and separated the two sides?
Well, Paula, on Monday, the president met with newly installed FBI Director Christopher Wray and Attorney General Jeff Sessions. We know the Department of Justice has opened a civil rights investigation, but what can we expect to hear in the coming days from the two agencies?
They're going to talk a lot about resources. Now this investigation has all the resources that the FBI and the Justice Department can possibly offer them. That's going to be an enormous boost to a city like Charlottesville. But Elaine, the big question is, what exactly can the Justice Department charge him with? Because this does not really fall, or does not appear to fall, under the federal hate crime statute. That is designed to charge people who have targeted someone based on their race, their ethnicity, their sexual orientation. That does not appear to be at play here. Many people have also discussed domestic terrorism. Elaine, that's not actually a crime under federal law. So it's unclear what exactly the Justice Department believes that it can charge him with, but clearly they believe there's enough here for a federal investigation. If they can find that he worked with other members of white supremacist groups, that would be very easy to charge under federal law, potentially as a conspiracy.
And Paula, what are investigators looking into regarding James Fields' background, and what could the DOJ charge him with?
They really probably want to know, was this planned? Was this a planned attack? Was this an attack of opportunity? And most importantly, Elaine, was he working with anyone else? It really changes the game if he worked with other members of a white supremacist organization to conduct this kind of attack. That is going to open up a lot more avenues for federal prosecutors to charge him, specifically under any sort of conspiracy. Because without that, if this was just a crime of opportunity, it's difficult to find a place under federal law that wouldn't already be covered by the state law.
So then, Paula, to follow up, is it possible then that this case could expand to anyone else?
It's possible. Investigators have just started. They have all the resources of the FBI and the Justice Department at their disposal. So that's really going to help. They're going to work together. It's not just going to be that the feds take this over. They're going to work with the local officials. Once they figure out all the information that they can, once they find all their evidence, they're going to have to take a look at it and determine, do we charge this as a federal offense, or do the laws of Virginia suffice? Can we charge him at the state level? At this point, what sources are telling us is it's not exactly clear what federal law he would be charged under, because there is no domestic terrorism law, and the hate crime statute so far doesn't appear to fit.
All right, Paula Reid in Charlottesville for us. Paula, thanks very much.